Hello and welcome to another tutorial on how to use the brilliant imagery time-lapse app. The app has some new features that should really speed up any iterative editing process. The process flow as a whole hasn't really changed, so this won't be a complete tutorial. If that's what you're looking for, then you'll want to check out our other video. So let's get started by opening up the sequence we'll be looking at today. Here we can see an example image. I will select a rectangle to pay attention to while ramping the exposure and stabilizing. So from there, let's process it. Just sped that up a bit so you wouldn't have to sit through it, but as you can see, it's all done now. You can see over here, it by default selected that we do want to reuse the calculated misalignments and the calculated brightnesses. That means so that as long as we don't move this little box right here, we don't have to recalculate either the alignments or the brightnesses of the underlying raw data in the files. From here, if we click over to Lightroom, and then let's do some edits. I went through and I changed the crop of the first picture and I brightened up the second keyframe. I also saved the meta information and I updated the preview for the first image. Now looking at the app itself, if we want to get the updated preview over here, we just say reload image. You can see the image did move within this little preview box, but the selected area did not. It's worth noting that for reasons that I won't get into, so long as you don't move this box, it does keep referencing the same portion of the picture. We could process the image now, but before I do so, I'm going to bring up this just so we can see, relatively speaking, how quickly it processes compared to last time. So here we go. So it's already done. As you saw, it took a little bit of time to reread the files. It has to do that since obviously they changed. And then it took basically no time to process the files, and then it re-updated the files and it just made small changes to the files. So again, doing that took almost no time. If for the sake of discussion, we wanted to keep the same area that we were focusing on, but we wanted to recalculate that, we could just unselect these. Another thing that we can do is we can save the project so that we can close things down and start back up where we left off. To do that, we will just go File, Save Project, and it just opened up in the location of the project, or excuse me, of the DNG photos. So I'll give it a name, Project, Save. Now if we go to the folder itself, we can see this file here, the project.bi file. If we close down the project, go to Lightroom, the files did update the way we should have expected them to, but if we decide that we don't like the looks of it, we don't have to completely start over. So I'm just going to quickly re-edit these. Re-save the metadata. Save. And I don't actually need to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. We will reopen the app. Now that the app is open, we will open the project that we just previously saved. And there it is. Again, this little area is going to be referencing the saved information that's in the project file, not actually reading this exact portion of the image. So if you don't like exactly where it was, but you did like where you originally highlighted, then you're still fine. It also selects whatever you had selected last. This, since it has the information, just automatically defaults to using it. And if I move this out of the way so we can see up here a little bit better, I will process it and see how long it takes. Okay, again, it's done almost instantly. So now with these updates, I'm optimistic that you can really iterate on your photos and not feel locked in just because of how long it takes to make a little change. I hope that helped, and if you have any comments or questions, please reach out.